Because you don't know I'm not talking to you. Or am I? Who am I talking to? The interesting thing about media like this. I got my coffee. I'm ready to go. And 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today's Thursday. It is May 6th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. So just I guess a warning or a notice. It is entirely possible that today, tomorrow, or I suppose any time in the future, I may turn this off immediately with no warning. The cat had an episode about 5 minutes before the show. I'll spare you the details, but in the moment, I thought it was a stroke. It does not seem to have been a stroke based on there doesn't seem to be anything wrong. But I thought that was it. Like 5 minutes ago, I thought that was it. So if anything subsequently happens, I'm not going to give you a long disclaimer of why I'm shutting this down. I'm just going to go do it. So, well, I hope you had a good Wednesday. I had a pretty solid Wednesday. I got a good amount of work done. Got through some email, got through the books. We have only a little bit left to deal with on the magazine, on the advertising side. Stacy says, meow, meow, feel better, Zuza. Stacy says, feel better. Went to the gym, did some client work, had a call with a friend. I feel like there was, Kat had acupuncture, which was interesting. Yeah, it's funny that she's, not feeling well this morning because she ate a ton yesterday and even this morning. Last night she ate more food, much more food than normal. So that's a good thing. Plants are doing well. And I'm starting to kick more. There's something coming. I'll tell you more about it when I know more. Although this may actually change things dramatically. So what's going on today? Today is Thursday, so we've got a new episode. Let's see if it's there. Beyond that, I carved out the day a client asked me to help with a major project. It's a tax prep company. There's some things that have to be done. They say, can you help out? Sure. So I carved the day out for that. Apparently, we don't need the whole day, which is good because I'm behind on a few things. Oh, I shipped out a box, an order to somebody yesterday. Somebody ordered some boots. And we're almost at the point of ordering more gear. We're almost there. We're getting there. We are getting there. But I'm done with Amazon. It's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. I'm going to bring the gear in and I'm going to raise the prices back where they should be. The only reason the prices are where they are is so we could compete with Amazon. It's the only reason we did it. What we offer is a far better product that lasts far longer than anything else on the market. It should be priced accordingly. When we debuted, I think we were at $50 or $60 for each piece. And anybody who's had our gear and has had it for years without it falling apart knows that it is worth that. Let's see if that video is up yet. Sure is. So on this episode, Andrew and I tackled the subject, martial arts etiquette. So I did an episode solo on martial arts etiquette way back, and fun trivia piece. It was the first transcript that we tested as a book. I put it up for like 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure it didn't sell anything. But we did it to figure it out. Figure out what was going to happen. And we've moved on to plenty of other books. I ordered my copy of Master Hopkick Origins yesterday. That's on the way. I'm excited. I'm excited to read a book that I had almost no involvement in. Yay, stories. With a character named for my last pet. Master Hopkick was the name that I thought we were going to run with, but I seem to remember there was a poll, and Master Hopkick won. And the irony is, I don't like the term master in regard to martial arts, but nothing else seemed to work. It needed to be style agnostic. It needed to be English. Instructor Hopkick, that didn't work. Master Hopkick, it's the only one that worked. And it felt a little bit derivative of Master Splinter in a good way. Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course. So that episode's there. Go check out Etiquette, as Andrew and I talk about it, and let me know what you think. Got a lot of good stuff coming, a lot of good content. I've got some intros and outros to deal with today. She wasn't moving, making sure she's alive. And I've got some notes that I gotta send over to Julius with one of these episodes because it's different. Remember the different one that we recorded Tuesday evening? Gotta give him some context for that, how to deal with it. Comments. Oh, sorry, me. All right, so we got comments today. I'm double checking. I thought we had stuff from Frank. Facebook's not showing it to me because YouTube's not showing it to me. Yep. So I got some stuff from Frank. Let's see. Is that really not showing here? Maybe if I do it here. Let's see. Hold on. Where's my comments? All right, I'm gonna have to do this in two spots. Well, I think that's enough. Let's switch over to this stuff. Remember, if you've got stuff you want me to talk about, questions, comments, feedback, we've had a good discussion for the last week or so on health and fitness and losing weight. Hit me up. Let me know. In fact, you can try to stump me if you want. I don't know. Whatever feels fun. I just like that you guys give me material. Otherwise, I'm just gonna. There's cat hair on my tongue. I'm just gonna talk about my cat and my insane backyard. The dandelions aren't up yet, and I try not to cut until after the dandelions pass, or at least until other flowers are up for the bees. And as wet as it is, that's gonna be some really long grass. All right. So I've got stuff here from Frank. I've got stuff here from Jen. I've got stuff here from Gabe. So let's start with Jen. Stacy and Jeremy, thanks for the mention of the Master Hopkick origin story. I'm super excited for you to read it and to hear your feedback. My hope is that this book causes people who hadn't considered martial arts before to try them out and to look for Whistlekick for more martial arts info. Everything we do at Whistlekick is to bring people in or to keep them in the martial arts. That is what we do. Along the way, we hope they will buy some things, and that will keep us going. That is our entire business model. It's been our business model from day one. I don't see any reason to change it. We are not trying to control anything. We are not trying to be responsible for anything. We make no arrogant claims about anything in our relationship to the martial arts. I just figure if we do a bunch of different cool stuff, some people like it, and they will find added value. It'll enhance the value of martial arts in their life, so they'll stick around. And then some of that will spread to people outside martial arts, whether it's books, podcasts, or whatever, and they are a little more likely to start training. That's it. That's all we're doing. It's a simple model. See, I can't tell. She's just laying there. How do you tell if a cat's awake or sleeping? How do you tell if a cat's alive? I can't see her breathing. Hey, are you breathing? Yes. Good. You gonna come sit? No? Okay. And so Gabe says, in regards to gut health being connected to brain health, that's absolutely true. After my concussion in 2019, my neurologist, remember, the doctor responsible for the brain, put me on a special diet, and it greatly improved my recovery. Now I can tell what I'm supposed to avoid by how it makes my head feel. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about, and I think I've said this on the show, talking about science, talking about conventionally accepted wisdom among people. And the example I come back to when people act like we know everything that we need to know. We don't know how smell works. We don't understand smell. We understand taste. We have ideas on smell, but we don't fully understand it. We understand touch. We understand sight. We understand sound. We don't understand smell. It's one of the 5 senses of the body, or 6, or however many you think we have. It's pretty fundamental. It's the one that, if you were to rank senses that people would be okay with losing, smell's the one at the bottom. People don't care about smell. Maybe that's why we don't understand it. But the point being, if we don't understand one of the 5 core ways we interact with the world, then we can't understand the body in full. We don't understand the world. We don't have all the answers. So when people say, oh, your diet doesn't impact that, of course your diet impacts that. Your diet impacts literally everything. Everything in our body is made up of a few things. It's the food we eat, it's the air we breathe, water, sunlight. And then our genetic code determines how that stuff happens. Although one of those things can alter genetic code. Stacy says, no smell equals no taste. Nope, not giving that up. So which one would you give up if you had to give up one of them? Smell is the one I would give up. Assuming I could taste without smell. Even if I had to lose the 2 together, I would rather lose smell and taste over sight, touch, and sound. I can eat food, and Stacy says she would give up touch. Oh. I wonder if we're having the same understanding of what touch would be. With touch, if I didn't have a sense of touch, I would think I would have a hard time holding this mug appropriately. Would I be able to pick up the cat without crushing her? I don't know. There's an interesting discussion for us. You know what? If you're watching, I would love for you to comment either after the show if you're watching live, or if you're watching between now and tomorrow in the comment section. Which of the 5 senses would you give up? Let's have an informal poll. I had a conversation with a guy at the gym yesterday about knees. He's like, oh, I can't squat all the way. My knees are bad. I'm getting old. You don't understand. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. At 22, they wanted to replace both of my knees because they said that was the way to fix it. And I said, I don't think so. And I wasn't sure what the answer was, but I knew that wasn't it. What's the answer? The answer for me was changing the shoes that I wore. And what I have learned now that I wish I had known then is that my diet has had an impact on my joints. Certain foods create inflammation, yada yada. Okay. There are examples of cancers being exacerbated and even reversed with certain foods. Alzheimer's is referred to by quite a few people in the medical community as type 3 diabetes. There are a lot of impacts of what we eat on our health that we are starting to talk about. Now, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy here. My coffee is almost gone. I'm sad. So I always heat the coffee like pretty early in case I get distracted or forget or, something happens. And something happened, so I didn't get to reheat it. And so my coffee isn't as warm as normal, so I'm taking bigger sips. And that's a bummer. Meh. All right. May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Did you know I have a motorcycle? Did you know I ride a motorcycle? I did very little riding last year. Between what was going on and when it was going on and weather, I didn't have a chance to ride much. I think I rode like 300 miles. It was nothing. But I'm hoping to get out more this summer. I enjoy riding my motorcycle. I don't enjoy it as much by myself. It's more fun as a group activity, and I don't have very many friends who ride. But maybe this year I'll ride a little more, or let's face it, there's not a lot going on. So maybe I will embrace that once the garden's in. Here are some facts from consumernotice.org. When motorcycles and other vehicles collide, it is usually the other non-motorcycle driver who violates the motorcyclist's right of way. Absolutely. I had a guy, I remember this was a few years ago, pulled out in front of me. Now, I have a light on the front of my bike that's on all the time. My motorcycle is red, at least the part that has color to it. It's red. It's not particularly quiet. It's not a loud bike, but it's not quiet. And I was completely within his line of sight. He just didn't pay attention. He just didn't see me. Now, when I'm on the bike, I'm incredibly vigilant. If conditions are off, if I'm off, I had a ride. There was a ride last summer that I went out and I wasn't focused. I wasn't with it. And I turned around and came home. And I planned on riding for the day. I just said, something feels off and I'm not willing to push it. I'm the first person to back off on a motorcycle. I'll ride fast. I will take corners. I'm a decent rider. I'm not a great rider. I'm a decent rider. But I know where my limits are. And I don't push them. So this person pulls out in front of me and I had somebody on the back. I had a feeling they were going to do it. So I started to slow down. And that gave me enough space. And I laid on the horn. Now my motorcycle horn is about as unimpressive as you want. I've thought about changing it because it doesn't command much respect, but you can hear it. And he heard it, and I just laid on the horn. And I did not let off. And he pulled right over and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, he knew he screwed up. I've had a couple of other close calls, but that's the one that sticks out. Now, my hope is, because I didn't, get out and beat the guy or whatever, you see videos of this crap. My hope is that because he knew he messed up and I didn't put him in a position where he needed to feel defensive, he will be a little more alert in the future. That's my hope. It is not everyone else's responsibility to have extra attention because of motorcycles. It's your responsibility to have appropriate attention because of everyone on the road, bicyclists, walkers, motorcyclists, other cars. And it's up to motorcyclists to be safe and smart, just like everybody else on the road. And there are plenty of people who aren't. A lot of people are distracted, they're arrogant. We have a tremendous number of people these days who really just they can't think about more than one thing at a time. They can't think about, okay, I'm going here, there's a car, there's a bike, there's a dog, there's a flock of chickens. Yeah, Vermont. And how are all these things going to necessarily converge? Most of the time you slow down, sometimes you speed up. It's one thing a lot of non-motorcyclists don't understand about motorcycles. You're actually, in a lot of cases, you're speeding up to get away from a problem rather than slowing down. Number 2, alcohol played a role in 25% of fatal motorcycle crashes in 2016. That's more than any other type of vehicle crash. I do not drink and get on the bike. If I go, let's say I'm going to go hang out with some friends for, if I'm going to meet somebody for lunch and I'm on the bike, I do not drink. Not even a single drink. If I'm going to go somewhere and hang out for a little while, let's say 2, 3, 4 hours, I may have one. That is it. I do not ride impaired. It is not worth it. Even I do a lot of things to make sure that I have, maximum awareness on a bike. That sounds like I take amphetamines before I'm on the bike. No, that's not what I mean. I don't compromise anything. I make sure I ride in appropriate clothing, et cetera, et cetera. The only change I've made is because I have very small hands, I don't wear gloves much of the time because I have small hands. And our last one here, 33% of all motorcycle riders involved in fatal crashes in 2016 were speeding compared to 19% of passenger vehicle drivers. Yeah. When do I speed on a bike? When I know it's safe. Same thing I do when I'm in a car. If I'm unsure, I'll do the speed limit. I'll do under the speed limit. I am not a normal driver. People find me weird because I am somebody who, I have no problem sitting in the right lane with the cruise control on at the speed limit, or if the conditions are dicey, under. There were plenty of days I was riding, certain places at 58, 60 miles an hour on the highway. Put the cruise on. That's what felt appropriate for the conditions. Didn't mean I had the cruise on and I was, like writing on something else. I just to stay steady and make sure I wasn't losing track and then, speeding up or anything. Yeah. I like being on the motorcycle. One of my favorite things, and this is ironic given the other bit of conversation we had, sense of smell. I love the smells that you get on a bike. You ride by somebody who just cut their grass, you can smell it. You ride by a cow barn and they're distributing hay, you can smell the hay. I love the smells. Now, how does this all relate to martial arts? Because I always try to relate it to martial arts, you know that. To be on a motorcycle requires tremendous awareness. If you are not constantly, vigilantly aware, you will die. It's going to happen. So, you learn to pay attention. You learn to be hyper aware. You learn to consider things all over the place. And you get to use your senses in a different way than you do in a car. In a car, you're pretty much here. Yeah, you've got side mirrors and you've got windows here and you look before you change lanes, but your awareness is pretty much here. You don't have to worry much about what's behind you, but you do on a bike because people will get too close to you. And a car can't stop as quickly as a motorcycle. So you have to make sure that there's enough space both ways. In developing those skills, I became a more aware martial artist. Less of a factor in one-on-one situations, but when we're running, multi-person self-defense scenarios, I've got a much better idea of what's going on, position to be in, where are my angles, and that's really valuable. Now, I don't know if it's a personality thing, I don't know if it's just the people that I know, but I've known a lot of high-level martial artists who also ride motorcycles. I don't know if there's anything there, kind of similar to the way I don't know if broadly, although I suspect so, there's a correlation between martial arts and technology, IT. I've had a lot of IT professionals on martial arts radio. But I suspect that there is some correlation there. And I'm not suggesting that everybody who trains go out and grab a motorcycle, though if you want one, go grab one. What I am suggesting, though, is that you consider that there are things that are not martial arts that will enhance your martial arts. Things that you would never consider, like riding a motorcycle. Or, I don't know, what's another one? Oh, firearms training. And I don't just mean like the scenario stuff, but target practice. Could be with a bow, could be with a gun, could be throwing axes or knives. I mean, yeah, there's some martial arts correlation in there. But the ability to focus and hit a target and develop that hand-eye coordination, all very good stuff, all beneficial. When I was at the gym yesterday, I was, in between sets and just kind of walking around. And I've been there long enough now that I don't mind being weird. And I was kicking stuff. I just came around with a roundhouse kick and put it exactly where I had planned on. Cool. Accuracy. All right. I hope you have a fantastic day. Go check out episode, 603, I think, of Martial Arts Radio. About etiquette. Well, the episode number doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's 603. Leave me some stuff to talk about for tomorrow. I'm sure Frank's going to give us some jokes. I hope so. And send some good thoughts out there to the world about the Super Bowl. I know at some point it's going to be her time. But I'm not ready. If she's ready, I'll be ready. But it's been a lot already this year. Sorry to bring it down at the end. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Peace.